Hi everybody, Cheryl from Petals. So I'm back with all my supplies to show you how to make this pumpkin crate centerpiece. So let's get started. What you're gonna need is a crate. Or if you have a cheese box, you can use a cheese box. If you have a basket, pull out a basket. You're gonna need some pumpkins. I have 3 different size pumpkins, which looks really cute in the arrangement. You can use them as is, but I'm gonna show you how to cover them with ribbon. You're gonna need some wire if you have it, or some skewers, or some floral picks like this, a pair of scissors, wire cutters if you're gonna use the wire, and I have these clippers that just to cut the wood, which just makes it easier. A tape measure. If you don't have a tape measure, grab a piece of string, ribbon, anything that you can use to measure, and I'll show you how to do that. If you're going to use the skewers and you want to cover the natural wood, you're going to need some floral tape and some plants, whether they're faux plants like these for an everlasting design, or you can use some fresh plants. Either one will work fine. Okay, so first, let's not forget the ribbon. We need 3 different type of ribbons. So I have a vanilla burlap, I have the 2.5 inch buffalo check, and then a 3/4 inch buffalo check, a tinier print. And the white ribbon or the vanilla ribbon is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to start with the 1.5 inch burlap and the smaller buffalo check ribbon. And what you're going to do first is you're going to measure your container, okay? So I've already measured this one. I know it's 1 foot across by 4 inches on the side. So your ribbon has to be double that. So you're going to cut a piece of ribbon that's 2 feet and then do a little extra. So I'm going to do 2 feet 10 inches for the ribbon because you want a little overhang. You want to be able to trim your piece. So I'm going to use the tape measure. And we're just going to measure 2 feet 10 inches. 1, 2. I should have probably had this taped off on the table. It would have been easier. At any rate, so 2 feet, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so it might be a little longer. I'm just going to grab my scissors and give it a cut. All right, so I've got my vanilla burlap. Now I'm going to do the same with the check ribbon. And I've got other supplies I'm going to show you as well. Which I forgot to show you the Sola flowers, which are actually rather cool. All right. You're also going to grab your glue gun, an extra glue stick, just in case the stick that's in your glue gun is a little short. You don't want to run out. And you always have to have a cup of water. I've got a little bowl of water because if you burn yourself with the glue, you're going to want to dip your fingers into the water as soon as possible so you don't peel off your skin or get blisters, because some of the glue guns are really hot. I happen to use a hot one and I burn myself all the time. What you're also going to need are some Sola flowers like these. I've got such a cute little variety. Some of them have the bark on them and just a variety of different flowers. Some of them are roses, others look like little lilies. And if you don't know where to find these, I have thousands of them. So you can just stop by and pick and choose out of the box whatever Sola flowers you like. So these Sola flowers are pretty cool. They're made out of the root of the tapioca plant. And I believe they're made in Indonesia. The women, I guess the guys harvest the roots out of the tapioca plant, and then the women sit and they cut them into tiny little slivers, and then they know how to form them into the flowers. So they are natural. You want to keep them dry. You don't ever want them to get wet because they can mold if they stay wet. So you want to be able to keep them dry. You can also paint these. And there's all kinds of tutorials online to show you how to paint Sola flower. So if you wanted to change the color, it's really simple to do. That being said, let's get back to the crate. So the first thing you're going to do is find the center of your ribbon. And that center of the ribbon you want to put on the center of your box. And just make sure it's centered nicely and put a little dab of glue there. Oops, hold on one second. All right, so I'm going to put a little dab of glue and just press it down. And then I use wire ribbon, so all of these ribbons do have wires. So just hold it taut, put a little dab of glue on the next corner, pull it tight, okay, and go right around the box. And you're not going to really worry if a little bit of glue comes through, because you're not really going to see it. And then you want to pull it tight on the other end, glue it right down the corner, pull it tight. Mine's not centered the best, but it's not really going to matter. All right. And then go right around the back side. So on the back, you're still going to pull your ribbon tight, and you're going to glue down the end. And don't worry if this end is a little jagged, it doesn't matter, because this one is going to come right over it, this end. We're going to glue it right over the top. So just line it up, add a little glue, press it down, and then add a little bit more onto the next ribbon, because you want it to really sit in there nicely. And on this particular one, you just want to make sort of a clean cut straight across. Don't worry about folding the end under. We're going to do that with the black and white one. So, and then just press it down. Just line it all up. The wires, line them up. Press it down, and you're all set with that piece of burlap ribbon, the vanilla. Now you're going to do the same thing with. Oh, we already cut it. Where is it? You can do the same thing with the thinner buffalo print. So 3/4 inch buffalo print. You can use any ribbon. You don't have to use buffalo print. If you wanted to do this box for Christmas, pick some Christmas ribbons. It's going to look great. So you basically want to do the same thing. You're going to go around and double up these ribbons. Okay? You can also run the glue up the center of the ribbon if that's easier for you. And just go right around. Do the same thing. Just line it up, press it down, line it up, press it down, this actually is a lot easier because the center check lines up perfectly, so you just glue that center check line down. Alright, line it up, press it down, and then you're going to go right over the existing ribbon, except now you're going to take the end and you're going to fold it under because you want it to look nice, neat, and clean. And then you're going to just glue that right down. There we go. All set. Okay, so I'm back. The customer, I know you don't know, but we had a customer call, so I finished gluing the ribbon. It's all set. So once your box is finished, now you want to put in your little plant. So I got these 3 little plants, which I think are adorable. You just pop them in. This is the easy part. Ta-da! Done. Wasn't that fun? Just fluff them. I didn't take the tags off, so there's probably still tags on there. Now you're going to take your pumpkins. I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to cover the pumpkins with ribbon. So you want to first take off the top of your pumpkin. Okay, so they're just like little styrofoam pumpkins, and the tab has, or the little top of the pumpkin, the stem, has this little tab. So you just want to nip off that little tag so it's flat, okay? So grab your 3 pumpkins, just prepare them like this. I'm just going to put them aside with their little stems. And this takes a little bit of time, but not too bad. You're going to take now your plaid ribbon, and let me just even this off a smidge. you're going to take one piece and you're just going to wrap it right around your pumpkin. So you're going to do this for each pumpkin, okay? And just cut your ribbon. Then what I ended up doing, because it was too big and it looked too bulky, I got a little dab of glue on my ribbon, and then I just sort of pinched it over, you know, folded it a little bit, just so that it would wrap around the ribbon. So you're going to do that on both ends. Okay. Then you're going to put your pumpkin in, and you're just going to hold it, you know, with your finger, and you're going to pull. Okay. All right, so that's going to work out perfectly. You want to take a little dab of glue, put it on your pumpkin, and glue down your ribbon. And on the larger one, you may have to do this 3 times, okay? So I'm going to take this, put a little dab of glue there. This piece is a little long, so I'm just going to snip off the excess and glue it down. If any glue squeezes out, just brush it away. Okay, so we've got that covered. Now as you see, this is a little loose right here. So we're going to take and you're going to pinch it. You're going to give it a little pinch. So see how it pulls in the ribbon nice and taut and tight? That's what you want. So you're going to give it a little pinch. Then where you pinched it over, there's a little, just like a little tab. Put a dab of glue in there. Okay? And fold it over. Just hold it there for a second. But see the difference? This one's big and loose now. This one's originally loose. And then this one's nice and tight. So you want to do that again. Put your finger in there, pull it, almost like a little V, like you're tenting it. Push it over. You've got that little crease, that little tab. Put a dab of glue, close it over. All right, so now you have your first little piece of ribbon on there. This one came up a little bit. I'm just going to glue this little top down. So, okay. So there you go. That's 1/2. Now you're going to do that again, going in the opposite direction. And this large pumpkin, you may have to do it a 3rd time. So let me see how this is going to work out. It's going to be very, very close. So I think I am going to do a 3rd ribbon on this pumpkin. So let me get started doing that. Again, a little piece of glue, pinch it over, hold it, turn it around, little dab of glue, just fold it over, oops, give it a little pinch. While that's drying, I'm going to do a 3rd one. I'm trying to do this fast so it doesn't drag out for you. All right, same thing. Little dab of glue, fold it over, pinch, little dab of glue, fold it over, pinch. Okay, so now we're ready to continue. And so now this one, we're going to do it more on a little off to an angle. Back into the center your pumpkin goes. So if you want to put a little dab of glue, you can, but it's going to hold itself there. You're going to pull it over and make sure you overlap the ribbon that's already on the pumpkin, okay? So if you just overlap it by like a 1/3. You don't have to go too crazy. Let me back this off a little bit. Put a little dab of glue in the center, just a little bit. You don't want it bulky because you're layering the ribbon in there, okay? This ribbon, I'm just gonna straighten it out, cut off any excess you don't want on your pumpkin. Pull it taut, little dab of glue. You just pull it tight, okay. Little dab of glue on the end of that ribbon and just press it in. If you get any that squeezes out, just pluck it off. See, I'm a little slobone when it comes to glue, but okay. Now you're gonna do, oh, another phone call, another customer. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so I'm back. Let's continue with the pumpkin. So we're going to put on the 3rd little piece of ribbon. We're going to do the same thing. You're going to put a little dab of glue right on the ribbon. Press it into the center of your pumpkin. Just make sure you've overlapped the 2nd ribbon there. And we're going to pull the 3rd piece taut It's a little long, so I'm just going to cut it, and we're going to glue that as well. Okay. All right, and we're just going to press that down. If you have like these little threads sticking up like I do, just trim them and just hold it down. No one's going to see it. These are busy ribbons, so they really they hide a lot, so that's good. Okay, so we've got the little pockets like before. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull the ribbon as taut as you can, pinch it, like make this little, like a little tent almost, and put a little dab of glue there and hold that section down. Okay. Just be careful not to burn yourself. It is a hot glue. And the same thing with this one. So just pull it tight, tent it, a little dab of glue. Takes a little getting used to. Like your first pumpkin, you may want to cut your ribbon off and start over, but that's okay. So this one has like another little tent right here. So we're going to do the same thing because you want the ribbon tight against your pumpkin. This time I'm going to tent it and I'm going to face it down because this way it's not going to be that noticeable. Okay, so a little dab of glue, fold the ribbon down, just let it hold. Oops, got glue strings everywhere. And the same thing here. See how it's tenting a little bit or puffing? We're going to tent it. This time we're going to push it down. A little dab of glue. And just hold it. And you're done. You're done with that portion, okay? Now you're going to go back to your stem, your little stem that we took off the original pumpkin. You're going to put a dab of glue on it and just sort of smear like a thin little coat on your stem. And you're just going to place it wherever you want in the center. And just press it. I got glue all over my fingers. Just press it down. Give it a chance to cool and really stick. Get rid of my mess here. All right, so while I was on that last phone call, I finished up the other 2 pumpkins. So here we have our 3 pumpkins. Now what you're going to do is you can take a skewer. It's got a nice sharp little point, or you can take one of the floral picks, and you're going to puncture it into the back side of the pumpkin. So there's a couple of layers of ribbon here. It can be a little bit of a struggle, but just punch it right through there, okay? Once you do that, take your glue and just glue, just make like a little circle of glue around the bottom of the stick, and then just put it aside to cool. All right, so we're gonna do this one. I like to use the, whoops, that one I broke. I guess I was a little too overzealous with that stick. Let me see. This one's a little troublemaker. Oh yeah, the other thing I want to tell you is don't put them all in the center. Do them off a little bit on an angle, because they're gonna go in on an angle. So that doesn't matter. If it's off kilter, if it's off the center, perfect. And now, pumpkin number 3. So I'm gonna do the same. We'll just go off center. Just puncture it in there, a little dab of glue to hold it, and you're all set. So just put those aside as is, and then we'll cut them to length when we're going to put them in the arrangement. So in these plants, there's a styrofoam base in here, and that's what we're going to put the pumpkins into, as well as the Sola flowers. So you can get Sola flowers online. There's probably a multitude of places you can get them. If you can't find them local and you want to pick through mine, feel free to come in. And I've got quite a few you can choose from. Okay, so now we're going to take a little variety of the Sola flowers, and you want to choose some. If you want a little variety, you can put some with the bark or just the whites, but you want also the little minis. You don't want to do them all large because it just looks better if you have a little bit of a variety. I like to use the thin wire for this part of the process. You don't have to. You can use your skewer. And the reason I have the floral tape is when you are going to use a skewer like that, it's natural, and you really don't want to see that in your arrangement. So you're going to take your floral tape, and you can get this Michael's anywhere, and you're going to pull the floral tape and you're going to wrap your skewer. Okay, so you have to pull the floral tape so that it sticks to itself, and then you're just going to spin it on your skewer so it looks like a natural stem, and it's not going to be, you know, like a sore thumb in your greens. It's just going to blend right into your greens. Okay, but I like to use the little wires, and you kind of do the same thing. You just push it through. Actually, what I did was I put a little dab of glue, and then I pushed it through just to hold the little wire. It's just a little thinner, just personal preference, I guess. Little dab of glue, put in your wires. So this whole project is really simple and fun, and those are my type of projects because I like to see a pretty quick result when I'm doing things, primarily because I'm so busy and I don't have a lot of time. So, but these are really cute. They're fun. They make great gifts. You can make one. You know, we're in a different time right now. We can't see everybody for the holidays. We can't see everybody for Christmas. So these are great gifts to make and drop off to your loved ones. They can have a wonderful arrangement for their table that you made. So, all right, let's continue here. Let me cut another wire. So you need your little wire cutters to cut the wire. Pick up your Sola flower. Now next I'm going to just do a couple more of these. If I need to wire another one, I will. Next I'm going to show you how to make a bow. Now the bows are usually pretty difficult for most people. It's really simple. It's just a matter of practice. You just keep doing it over and over, and eventually you become a pro of making bows. All right, so let's get rid of the end of my stick here, which has the floral wire on it. I'm going to just nip those off because I don't need them. And we'll push aside all of these other supplies. Okay. Now, to make, what I did is I made 2 bows, and then I glued, I'm going to show you. So in the original, I made 2 bows. So I have the 2.5-inch buffalo check ribbon to the back, and then the 3/4-inch buffalo check ribbon to the front. So I made 2 bows. I glued the smaller one into the larger one, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. All right, I always put my ribbon on the floor because it has a tendency to twist. So my ribbon rolls across the floor, but that's okay. You're going to leave a little tail. Then you're going to take your ribbon, I hope I can show you this, and you're going to just scrunch it in your fingers, okay? Then you're going to take your index finger and make a loop. Sort of grab that loop with your other fingers. Twist the ribbon. Then you're going to make another loop. Twist that ribbon and just keep going, okay? So you're going to make a loop, twist, hold it. You want to hold it the whole time with one hand. I'm left-handed, so it may look a little strange to some people, but make a loop, twist, make a loop, twist. And as you're twisting, you're making your loops a little bit larger each time, and then the last couple of loops, we're going to keep them the same. So I'm going to make, so this is your center bow, or center loop I should say, then, which doesn't really matter in this design, but that's your center, and then I'm going to do 4 others, or maybe I'll do 5 because we really don't need the center, so we may as well utilize it. But these I'm going to try to keep the same length because I don't want the bow to be like ridiculously large, but I want it to be large enough so we can tuck that smaller 1/2-inch ribbon bow in the center. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, one more little loop and we're ready to go. Okay, so what I do with this one is, let me just cut the other side for you. So you're just gonna cut it. We'll trim it after. I'm gonna put it in one of these, so I'm gonna use one of the picks. This time I'm gonna do it, am I gonna do it backwards? How did I do it last time? Let me think. Yeah, I'm just going to do it the way I normally would. So I put the pick behind there, I bring the little copper wire around, and we just tie it in. So I tie it tight around the end of the little pick. Bring it down the center again, and just wrap it a few good times around the green pick, okay? So that's your first bow. Then we're going to do it again with the 3/4 inch. This time I'm going to leave the ends of the ribbon a little bit longer because I want to curl them. So just leave them a little longer. You're basically going to do the same thing. You're going to just loop, hold it, twist. Make a loop, hold it, twist. Make another loop, hold it, twist. Make a loop, hold it, twist. And when you twist, you want to release your finger and hold it again, okay? Make a loop, hold it, twist. A loop, hold it, twist. A loop, hold it, twist. Same thing, we're just going to keep going. If you get frustrated, aggravated, and you're local, come in and see me and I can make your bows for you. There we go. It's just $3 to make a bow. It's no big deal. But let's see. And twist. All right, so I think that's enough for me. And I'm just going to use a little piece of wire to hold this one. Actually, maybe one of the little copper ones I cut off because we're going to glue this to the center of the larger bow. Just because I like the variety, it looks pretty. So you're just going to bring your wire around. You're going to spin it. Don't worry about the little piece of wood I have attached. We're going to cut that off. Cut it off, just press that wire down and then cut your other end. Okay, so that's all set. Back to the big bow. Now we're going to take this big bow and we're going to just open it up. So the way you open up a bow, normally you have your center and then you pull one loop down, one loop up, the next one down, up until the whole bow is all fluffed out. But we're going to leave the center flat because we want to put, hello, we want to put the other bow into it. I'll be right back. All right, so we opened up the bow and you just want to leave it, just press it, you know, the center open because you're going to make a space for the smaller bow. So with the smaller bow, you kind of want to pull your centers up a little bit. But again, left, right, if you got another one for the center, left, right, center, okay? And you can adjust this later, but see the difference? This one's flat and this one's not because then we're going to put them together. All right, so now you're going to take your small bow, you're going to put a little dab of glue in there, you're going to get your larger bow and you're just going to press fit it right in and just hold it for a second, just like that. Just put your thumb in and hold it and just wait for it to dry. And you can fluff while you're waiting. And that is essentially it for your bow. And then we're going to trim these. I'll show you how to trim them in a second, okay? So that's all set. So while we're doing that, all of the Sola flowers dried nicely. Your pumpkins are all set and ready to roll. And so now we're going to assemble the rest of the arrangement. So what you're going to do, grab your bow, reach into your center pot, or you can do it with the stick. And I'm going to trim this stick. It's a little large for this pot, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit. And just find the center. You can hear it sort of crunching through the styrofoam and just tuck it in, okay? And then we'll worry about straightening all this out and cutting it later. All right, so we have that all in. So your bow is in, your box is done as far as your ribbon around the center. Now you want to take your pumpkin. So you can decide if you want the large pumpkin in the center, the smaller pumpkins, but you want to, where's my third pumpkin? Where'd my third little pumpkin go? Did I drop it? Yes, I did. All right. So in this box, I put the small one in the center and then the medium and the large off to the side. So I thought that might look cute. So let's try that again. So again, just find the center and just tuck your pumpkin in. You can hear it sort of crunching through. the styrofoam in the little pot. Okay, so put in your little pumpkin, and then with these pumpkins, the two left, your large and the small, put them in on angles. Nothing has to be straight, but see, just tuck them right in. So I'm going to put this one going in this direction. Let me see, just tuck it right in. And then the large one, I'll put off on another angle in the third little pot over here. All right, so that's all set, okay? So now you have your bow, your pumpkins, everything ready to go. The only thing you're missing now are your Sola flowers. So I thought it was kind of cute to put some of the smaller ones. And what you're gonna do here is just gently try to puncture that styrofoam that's at the bottom of these plants. Let me see if it's gonna fight me or, let me see. Yeah, it's gonna fight me. All right, so let me cut it a little shorter. Let's see if I can do this. You can feel it going through. Just hold the bottom of your wire, give it a little tension. I like the little wire too because although it's more flexible, it's a little bit of a struggle, but it goes through nice and easy. And just push your little flower in, okay? So you can put as many flowers as you want, wherever you want, and that's the fun of it. It's your design. The whole idea is to have fun and be creative. Put some in the front. I missed the styrofoam. So it went right in. There we go. This one's kind of cool looking. Look how pretty that one is. Just tuck them in. Another one. Let me see what I have this one. Yeah, I've got some bigger ones to the front. Tuck one coming off the side here. See, pretty. Oh, I've got the one with the bark. That one's pretty. Let's do that one on the opposite side. So, kind of like what you do on the left over here, you kind of want to do on the right. It's giving me a little struggle. See if I can tuck it in there. All right. And now I have a couple little ones back here, which I didn't put wires on yet. So I'm going to do that. Let me get a larger one. So this one sort of looks like a carnation, which is sort of fun, and a rose. So I'm going to do a carnation and a rose back here. So I want these to be a little larger. I'm going to put my little dab of glue on each one. And then just tuck that wire in. Just give it a second to cool. And we'll be ready for that one. I'm ready to insert these. I'll shorten the wires. And we're just going to tuck them right in the back here. So just find one of the little pots you can tuck it into. Oh, this one, maybe this one. There we go. I heard a little crunch, so I know I'm into the styrofoam. And let's just fiddle around in here until we find it. Oh, that one's not going in. Maybe I cut that wire too short. I don't know. Let me find the box. Find the pot. All right, so that's all set. And you can keep going. If you want to add a couple tiny ones in here, be my guest. But that's pretty much it. So now you've made your own centerpiece for your own table. Now we're going to trim the front of these ribbons. You're going to take the larger ribbon, the large buffalo print, you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to cut a little wedge into it. But you're going to cut it from the wire to the folded edge, okay? And that'll give you that little dovetail look. So you're going to fold it, cut it from the wire up on an angle to the fold, and that creates that dovetail. Now you can keep them long, you can make those short or long, it's completely up to you. Now with the smaller ribbon, all I'm going to do is cut the ends on a little bit of an angle. Okay, so that's cut on a little bit of an angle, and now you just want to curl those. So just wrap them around your finger, create like a little curl, and then just spring that little curl. You can keep playing with it until you like the way it looks. So there you go. It's all done. It's all complete. It didn't take that long, and you're going to love it. And so if you give it as a gift, your recipient's going to love it as well. So that's it for today. I'll be back another day to show you how to make something else special. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.